Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 70 of the Realm Recap. I'm Jason from Yakface.com, joined as always by Fly Guy from FlyGuy.net.
Not quite feeling 70 today, but it's getting close. But
70.
70 episodes, man. It just, wow, blows me away.
I know, I was typing it out. I'm like, episode 70. So, this week is kind of different. There wasn't a whole lot of news this week regarding new product and whatever, but there were a lot of leaks that came out, which is kind of funny because last week we kind of talked about how secretive Disney and Hasbro have been in regards to coming out of San Diego Comic-Con and whatnot. But various sites, Jedi Temple Archives, Wolfpack Podcast, Rebel Scum, just a bunch of different sites. Jedi News I think had some stuff out there. There were a bunch of leaks coming out as far as product, not specific product as far as revealing names or spoilers or anything, but just helping to clarify what we might see come Force Friday, which is 2 months away, to believe it or not. We saw some other reveals, stuff like the ridiculously cool but unobtainable Millennium Falcon from Hot Toys that they had shown off at a convention. I can't remember what it's called. It's like
HCGK, I think
something
it was.
like that. It's like AmiCon or something like that is the whatever. It's a full 1/6 scale, which is 12 inches version of a Millennium Falcon. So it's like 18 feet across or some ridiculous
it's truly a BMF.
Truly, yeah. So stuff like that happened this week, but the main stuff we're going to talk about on the show, not a whole lot of spoilers per se, but it does reveal a few things that we will probably see on Force Friday on September 4th. So
Definitely.
We will start off, as always, with our Hasbro news. Some of the big news this week, Jedi Temple Archives posted a breakdown of some of the things that are showing up on Force Friday. They've been updating, I think Thursday stuff really started to hit. And then throughout the weekend, they've been updating. There was just a really weird event that happened at one of the East Coast retailers called Myers. They cleared out their entire Hasbro Star Wars section and refreshed it with shelf tags for the Force Awakens products that come out. And it has names of stuff on it, like 3 3/4 inch Millennium Falcon. So, we know that's coming. We always kind of assumed it was coming, but to see it on shelf prior to, not the product, but the shelf tags, is kind of a major slip up by Myers' part, I would think.
And to do that so early and just leave the shelves with nothing but tags on them until September the 4th?
Yeah, you can't imagine it's going to stay that way. It's like someone got their butt chewed and they went and pulled all the stuff off, and I don't know what they put in its place, considering everything that's really not out there right now. But yeah, product name, Millennium Falcon, play sets, which I think one of them was a Star Destroyer playset. I don't know. Did that pan out to be a Micro Machines playset? Is that what it was? Or
I don't know. I think so. I don't think it's a proper playset that we would be hoping for, but
right. But just a lot of stuff. 6-inch, villain character. It didn't even specifically say that it was X character. It was just a whole floor display was set, essentially waiting for product. Well, they're going to be waiting a little while to fill that.
I feel a little sorry for Hasbro. I just do not know how they're going to keep X number of retailers. I don't know what, at least maybe 5,000-6,000 retailers in the US alone to tell them to keep their mouth shut. Plus overseas, this thing's going to leak like a sieve, I think, and it's beginning to already. So.
But once some of these big retailers start actually receiving product, because they're going to have to receive it a little while in advance, I would think, maybe a week or two prior, so they have it in hand for their display setting, there's going to be some employee out there that
Yep.
starts unboxing things or, snapping pictures and getting them out on the web. There's been a few issues that has happened the past week regarding that. Someone who worked for Toys R Us, I believe, leaked out some marketing that's supposed to show up in their stores, and that didn't turn out too well for them, I guess. But Disney and Lucasfilm reaches long and hard, I guess.
Definitely. They don't want a single thing leaked. And if they're tough on merchandise, can you imagine what they'll do if someone gets hold of a preview copy of the movie? It's going to be insane.
Oh, I know.
It's going to be, I hope it doesn't get leaked, but what doesn't these days? Something
right.
gets leaked.
So in regards to some of the stuff that came up, Jedi Temple Archives, they had posted, most recently, I think it was earlier this evening. This is, I think, Sunday that we're talking about this. They posted an update where they're showing, there's a special TIE fighter that's coming out, Episode 7 TIE fighter. For the $40 price range, that seems to be about in the Black Series or... no, it's not the Black Series because they already have the 6-inch one, so I don't think they'll have another one for a 3 3/4 inch line unless it's for the 5 POA figures.
I was going to say it's more a 5 POA price point, I would imagine, given the kind of... You're going to see that thing, I would imagine, to be pretty feature poor. Apart from a couple of firing missiles, I think that might be it. Put a figure inside, fire some missiles. At that price point, I would suggest, but...
yeah. A few other things, some other vehicles, 2-packs.
It seems the Star Wars Episode 7, a 6-inch Trooper the Blue, I can't remember the rank, what that's called, but apparently also the rumor is that it may be a Toys R Us exclusive for that particular release. Yep. So
I think that was the Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, yeah, you're right.
But who knows what it means in Episode 7 lingo.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it does say blue. I don't know if that's... Yeah, it's... You don't know what scale that... I guess for $20, it's the 6-inch. So, on Jedi Temple Archives' particular listing, it doesn't list an exclusive retailer there, but I think they might have followed up in a different post hinting that it might be coming to Toys R Us. Was that right?
I think, yes, they did in a previous post that this Trooper, and again, it was mentioned that it was 6-inch. So as in the existing missing Trooper that we've not had yet, that one in the, I think it's the yellow one that's still outstanding. So in the 6-inch line. So interesting, this Star Wars 7 Battle Action Millennium Falcon, which I think just screams to me again, kid play, much more younger kind of focus, firing missiles and all sorts of that kind of stuff at that price point. But
right, $140. That's kind of, it's not the $60 that the Hero Series one was that came out at Walmart exclusively. So you would hope there's a little more feature, fun there, as far as, being able to put
that kind of thing.
Yeah. Action figures fitting in the cockpit or wherever they belong. So.
Yeah, I would hope so. 6-inch figure assortment, of course, again, which we think we pretty much know from a year ago, that leak on the Chinese site. And this, again, this could be Hasbro taking a little bit of liberty, as they often do or have done in the past with figures, and extending the license a little bit. Unlikely, maybe because the movie's just coming out, but it wouldn't be unknown that we might not get a jungle aspect in the Episode 7 movie, but it might be them just applying that to a trooper or a figure or a we used to get kind of Obi-Wan Jedi jungle training mission or something, that kind of stuff, where it would a little bit extending the license for it, but snow and desert figure assortment, jungle mission series, and a Micro Machines as well. So interesting.
That's 12-inch. They're we've been getting 12-inch figures from Hasbro for a while now. The Hero series is what they're calling them. Those are around $10. These, they have this one listed as $14.99. So I'm not sure if that means that a price bump is coming to that scale of Hero series, or if it's just because
Back metalization,
right, because of Captain Phasma's particular armor style, it might be a little bit more pricey. So.
Which would be very well suited for that kind of figure, because there is no real articulation, really, if you think it was very minimal. So
it's about 7.
It's far easier for them to do that at that scale and do vac metalization rather than the smaller scale figure where it's packed with articulation. But it's interesting stuff. It's there's a lot going on, that's for sure.
Right. See, Dan Curdo from our partners and friends at Wolfpack Podcast, he posted a leaked list of things also regarding to episode 7. Not all that clear as far as who they are. It's kind of generic, lead hero, that type of thing. Lead villain, lead hero, sidekick alien. Nothing really spelling out who these certain characters are. But I think this list that he had posted is the first time I've actually seen Luke Skywalker on the list.
Oh yes, Saga Legends.
There.
Yep. Again, that might be from an older version of the movie. We don't quite know, but it would. I mean, the fact Darth Vader Episode 5.
Right.
True. 3.75 Millennium Falcon. Yep.
Villain Trooper. Jungle space lead villain. Who knows what these mean at this point? Depending on what sites you visit and follow, and if you're really on top of some of the spoiler images and descriptions and plot lines that have come out on the various sites, like makingstarwars.net or Star Wars Underground, those are sites that have been posting movie stuff. Some of these spoilers here, or some of these names, generic that they are, do kind of make sense, but secondary alien, what does that mean? Is that Chewbacca, or is that the side, a new alien that is kind of suspected to be in the film? So
yep,
kind of neat to. I mean, we're still 2 months out from all of this reveal, and we're still at this point, it's very vague as far as what characters will see that day.
Yep, definitely. So don't wish your life away on this stuff. It's you don't want to spoil it too much,
right?
But it's coming. It's coming out.
Another reveal was posted over on Rebel Scum this week. This is the first time we've seen the return of the Build-A concept to the Star Wars line. For a long time it's been a Build-A-Figure type thing. They revealed that there's going to be a Build-A-Weapon type of gimmick that's going to come with some of the figures. And if you follow the spoilers that are out there, I would think you would know what the Build-A-Weapon means, but we're not going to get into that spoilery stuff here. But it's kind of a neat concept, as far as I do like the Build-A-Figure line, as far as, because you're getting another action figure to go along with your others in that scale.
Sure.
This seems to be a different take, obviously, on the
sure,
program.
I mean, I think it depends. I mean, we've had Build-A-Figures in the Star Wars line. We've had Build-A-Figures in the Marvel line. It's logical. It's great. It's something I pushed for this year, even saying to them, don't forget Build-A-Figures. But it remains to be seen exactly what it turns out like. Because they're going to turn out like Marvel Legends Hulkbuster or some of the other lesser kind of notes.
Right. Is it like a mini version of some larger weapon that's in the film? Or, could it be like, obviously it says build a weapon, but if it was like build a vehicle, obviously it wouldn't be to scale to the action figures. I'm thinking that's what the turnout is going to be, that it's going to be some sort of a representation of build a weapon that's in, or of a weapon that's in the film. So it won't be to scale with the action figures per se, but you'll get some sort of a toyetic representation of whatever the weapon is in the film.
I just always remember those horrible episode 3 Yodas that had that weird little firing thing he sat upon. I don't know what it was, but
Oh, like that brown, like,
oh man, for
base thing.
years they packed that thing again and again. Oh, anyway, so
Yeah.
never ever bring that back, Hasbro. Never ever. Anyway,
What
horrible
else?
memories there.
Let's see. Getting out of the spoilery type stuff here. Hasbro's been sending out for people that registered on the Hasbro Pulse .com website. If you filled in all of your information, gave them your address and your email, you received a little
Lanyard.
lanyard welcome thing that it's kind of funny because it specifically references San Diego Comic-Con, and a lot of people receive these after that
I know.
event. So,
Kinda
I know
weird.
Paul and Jedi Temple Archives are kind of giving Hasbro a little bit of ribbing about that, considering it came after the fact.
Yeah, it's just. Did you receive one? Did you?
I haven't received. I haven't received one as of yet. I did check my mail today, but
so and I did fill in everything on the website as well. So it just seems weird. It seemed a little odd, but and I think I don't know. It's not a great start for Hasbro Pulse, but they had some good content. I just hope they keep it coming. Keeping that content coming it's a lot of work. So I hope they can do it.
yeah, because we were discussing, I think, before on previous show, whether it was here on Wolfpack, whatnot, that this would be a good avenue for Hasbro to use that
Yes.
that medium to reveal either a new product or some details coming for Force Friday, something. It seems really pretty generic right now. There's
Yep.
they show some videos of product, like for Transformers, and they did an interview with Stephen Hayford, who does a lot of the diorama type photography for Star Wars, and that's all well and good and everything, but it doesn't really spark any interest as far as what could we expect or what's new. And
Well, as you well know, I mean, it's hard running a website, as we both do, and keeping content up to date and keeping it fresh and keeping your own spin on it and keeping it going. And I
keeping the
haven't seen
site
anything
working.
keeping the site working. And yeah, that's true. And yeah, it takes a lot of time and effort and energy. And they have such rich IPs. You'd think they'd have more information than possible to share. So I hope it keeps coming and doesn't just fizzle. But fingers
Right.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because they've done blog type
Mm-hmm.
sites before, and they just kind of
Let it die a little bit, as is often the case with a lot of people. But
yeah.
anyway,
That kind of wraps up Hasbro stuff for this week. We'll move on to Sideshow. They didn't really have a whole lot new other than the fact that Hot Toys, which they distribute, had an unbelievably cool and unobtainable display out there. Like how we talked about it at the beginning of the show. There's a 12-inch scale Millennium Falcon that they had built. It's just amazing to look at that photograph and realize that those are 12-inch figures standing next to a proportionally accurate Millennium Falcon.
with an interior as well, may I add.
Right.
But
So I think this is probably, they confirmed, Hot Toys did, that this isn't going to be available for production. There were some posts that went out there that, because I'd received a couple different ones, that this is going to be like $200,000. Someone sent me a screenshot, and that was a made up thing. And then I heard $40,000 or something like that.
well, the TIE Fighters behind were on display at San Diego Comic-Con, and
Those are going to be available for sure.
they were stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were confirmed. They said, yes, they will make these available. We are making this available, which just, I mean, my jaw dropped at that. But then to see this thing, and I think as you said this week, we've been inundated with photographs of this thing.
Oh, I know. I was
officially over it. I know. But I mean, it's a very newsworthy item. I mean,
oh, yeah.
However, two people I knew who had friends, and they swore they went to the convention in Hong Kong. And I think Hot Toys are maybe just mucking around with them and just playing about with them. Who knows?
Yep.
But they approached them and they had told them, and the report that I'd got, and I trusted my friend in Australia who knew the person in Asia who posted this,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, really? You know, and she had a lot of friends, and she's a big Hot Toys person in the community, and she said, this is what they told me, whether it's bullshit or not, this is what they told me. $48,000, 2016. I posted that and tried to link. I can't link to her page because she's a private page, and
Right.
everybody, of course, I just caused a torrent of just like, where's the link? Where's the link? And I was like, it's just a rumor. It's just something mentioned this, but do you know, I would not put it by Hot Toys if they can release a damn TIE fighter. I think they get so much press in this thing already. It's I wouldn't put it past them. Is all I'm saying. With life-size Hulkbusters and Han and Carbonite from Gentle Giant,
I can see them doing different, mini sections of the the Falcon.
Sure.
You know, they're already doing the cockpit, which is an amazing feat in and of itself to be able to hold, essentially 4 12-inch figures with lights, electronics, and it's obviously an attractive display. They did show that cutaway shot there of, you get kind of like the galley, it's got the chess table and all that stuff. That's not surprising. What else are they going to show? Or as far as
the toilet.
Yeah. Are we going to have a
pressure?
Oh, great. We get to see the inner workings of the toilet and shower and the, the cots, and it's like where they sleep and hang their clothes. It's like, are they really going to go that far into it? I can see them making an environment that shows this room.
Well, they've already solicited the cockpit.
Right. So how much more? I could see them maybe doing like the gunner stations or something.
Sure. Well, this is what makes my mind just think together. I mean, looking at it, and I'll share it once more. I know we've seen enough of this. Everybody's probably like, enough. But this is a giant lump of plastic. It is not necessarily,
it's not hollow that you could
from a manufacturing point of view, it's not impossible. The shipping cartons and crates. I had friends in Australia who run a store who sells nothing but Hot Toys, and they would often get master cartons in of large things like the Hulk, for example. And I think it was like 4 Hulks came in a box, something like that. It was crazy, and it was a huge box, literally the size of that TIE fighter. 1, 2, 3, 4 stacked in this thing, and it's they're basically the size of pallets or skids.
Right.
Again, I think I agree. There's nothing official, and I think Hot Toys are having great fun with people at the booth, just telling them 200,000, 48,000, 40,000, and everyone's panicking and getting the press. But it's certainly not impossible. That's for sure. But
yeah,
what a beauty! What a beauty!
Anyway. What else? Something a little smaller, a little more possible. Hot Toys did they haven't solicit. Oh, they did solicit it, but they haven't revealed it as far as being available for pre-order. The Princess Leia from A New Hope, which looks pretty dang nice, to be honest. The likeness is really good.
The likeness is fun. It was again at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm not really a huge Leia fan. I wouldn't have bought this Hot Toys. The minute I saw that facial sculpt, and believe it or not, the buns. They're flawless. It is absolutely flawless. JC Hong, the lead designer normally on these things, has the pictures, to my mind, actually don't do it real justice. It is incredibly lifelike. That picture alone is fantastic, but the proportion of the figures, the cloth, the way it's that, and the Luke Farm Boy, even the Luke Stormtrooper, which I immediately pre-ordered, they were just flawless, really. And Ben Kenobi, which we've drilled over before, they're just incredible. They really are incredible, lifelike. When you go back maybe 8 years to some of the things that Sideshow produced.
Yeah, because I do have the Sideshow Princess Leia in the same outfit, and that was a great figure at the time.
But now,
but this one, wow, is really pretty fantastic.
It's knockout stuff. It really is. So she's coming soon.
Yep, I was actually surprised that it didn't go up for pre-order this week. Typically when Hot Toys does their reveal official
Yep.
solicitation. It's just like 2 days later it goes up for pre-order.
Yeah.
So
It's been a Hot Toys week.
yeah, with Marvel and whatnot. So I would guess it'll be this week
Yep.
that it goes up for pre-order.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense.
Let's see. Nothing really for Lego or Gentle Giant or any of those other brands this week. So we'll kind of move on to the other. You had shared, I believe, through uh, FlyGuy.net and Dorkside that we got a physical representation now of R2L3, which is the exclusive Dorkside version of the vinyl pop.
That's right, and it's just a great looking little figure. It was a big high point, I think, to get this thing, but pure. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Just the detail, the silver paint, all the little blotches of blue here and there. He's a great looking little droid, and yep, it's a Dorkside Toys exclusive. So there's about 2/3 are gone already, and the minute this image was posted, certainly more healthy sales of that there. So. I highly doubt there'll be any on the time it comes around. So if you do are a Funko Pop person and you want to pick it up, go pick it up. There'll be a link in the show notes and you can go grab one.
And that's officially available when, as far as a ship out date?
It was going to be August, but it's bumped by Funko into early September. So probably the first couple of weeks within September that will
September
be
4th, probably.
Probably September the 4th, who knows? So yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Speaking of more pops in September the 4th, there were some reveals, leaks, exclusive shared regarding Funko product that's going to come exclusive to Walgreens.
That's right. Boba Fett fan club managed to get a photograph of the image itself that Walgreens in the US is going to release. There are 4 figures coming, classic troopers, I believe they're all going to be. And another figure leaked from another source. I can't remember who that was. I'd never heard of them before, but I don't know if you saw it, the Snowtrooper.
I did see that, yes, the prototype of the
Snowtrooper. Yep. So there's a prototype Fett, prototype Snowtrooper. I'm maybe thinking they're going to keep the prototype vibe going, and we might get I don't know, prototype Stormtrooper, maybe something from the kind of Macquarie designs, and I don't know. But to get 2 prototypes is. Or maybe the prototype was just unpainted. Who knows? But that'd be a nice little line if it was all white figures or something kind of unique like that. That'd be kind of cool. But Walgreens, ever the gent on Twitter, Stephen Ann was very good at communicating with people, and has kind of mentioned that the figures will be a lot easier to find than the absolutely try your hardest to find some of these Spider-Man figures that came out this year, which were just gone. Yeah. Immediately gone. I think there was very little stock. So yes, hopefully there'll be a lot more. If one other thing, just again for those that are Funko Pop mad, if you don't get it here, and if you're watching and you're from international countries watching this, it's very likely that that pop will come to something like Forbidden Planet or comic shops, or if you're in Australia, Pop Culture is the place that these things normally tend to come, because there is no real retail exclusives overseas, generally speaking. So
right,
you should be able to get it.
I think I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been Marjorie from Star Wars Action News, where there's maybe an exclusive Jabba the Hutt coming to Walgreens.
Okay,
as part of the 4. I'm trying to find it in some of our discussions that we had on. Well,
they've had a Jabba out before,
right? And I think there's a
cool looking one.
What the deal was with that, but
it's dead Jabba exclusive. Choked Jabba. Lovely, nice.
Let's see what else. There was this was something I caught regarding the D23 events that are coming up. Disney is going to have an exclusive line. Disney stores are going to have like an exclusive limited run of 8 vinyl collectible helmets. These are based off of the helmet project. I think that would have shown off at what convention was it? Was it Celebration?
I think it was. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yep.
This is just an example here. We're showing it on the screen. There were just, I don't know how many in total that went up for auction for this project, but
300, it says here. 300 Stormtrooper
300,
helmet.
yeah. So they're gonna do. I think they're gonna pick obviously, 8 of from the series of custom helmets that were done, and they're gonna
That's right.
release them in little mini vinyl versions available through the store.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There was a UK, just a little side note, there was a UK magazine, a European magazine, I should say correctly, which released a little helmet collection a few months back. I don't know whether you saw it. It was the usual D'Agostini as the company over there,
Right.
an Italian company, and it was a booklet as usual, and a little mini helmet, Cody, Fett, Django, which is what caught my eye. But there's a few on eBay, but as yet it's never been released anywhere else. But mini helmets never seem to die out. They're
No.
always fun little collectibles, I guess. So, and there was more Disney stuff that you
Yeah,
reported
there's
as well.
Disney revealed that they're going to have an exclusive line called Star Wars Elite of action figures that are die cast. We don't know the scale yet. It could be 3 3/4 inch, could be 6 inch, but they plan on having those available as an exclusive through the Disney stores. And they're going to show some off that are going to be exclusive at D23 next month. And they're going to be R2D2 and C3PO, so we'll get to see what those figures are like.
Will they be taking you back out to California to review them and preview them?
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Which, I had posted that story earlier this week, and there's a lot of discussion back and forth, talk, because they did reveal, and they've been selling for a while now, that die-cast line of vehicles at Disney Store, and there's been some issues with them as far as qualities. They're either broken or bent up, or the paint sucks or something. So people aren't all that gung-ho about the die-cast versions of action figures if that's going to be the result.
Yep.
So, and how with the articulation, because it does say that these figures are going to be articulated, is that going to pose another set of problems as far as paint flaking off or chipping off or whatnot? So we'll have to see.
Tough launching the toy line, I'm sure, and getting lines out there. It's sometimes hit, sometimes miss.
Oh yeah. Let's see what else. Moving on to some custom stuff here. This was something that I did on a whim, essentially. We had talked about on a couple previous shows that Disney Movie Rewards had a program where if you had enough points, you could redeem them for some of the teaser posters for The Force Awakens. Well, those posters, they're movie quality size as far as, being the 27 by 40 inch two-sided printed posters. I went ahead and on Thursday night, I happened to have a night free. My wife went out of town with all of our kids, and did she take the dog? No, she didn't take the dog. I had the dog. But I went ahead and I wanted to build one of those backlit movie poster frames that you could, that you see in movie theaters, or, you could buy online that costs hundreds of dollars. With very limited materials and budget, I was able to assemble something that turned out pretty well, I think.
It did. It looks fantastic. It really does. I don't know. There's a larger. Yeah, it is. Oh, check that thing out, people.
Yeah. So essentially, what I did is I went to my local hardware store, which it was Lowe's. Bought some thin strips of wood, cut them to size, stapled them together with a staple gun. Bought it's essentially what it is LED ribbon that is adhesive on the back, ran it around the perimeter, and you can see it in that photo there that we're sharing on the screen.
It kind of reminds me of the deleted scene from Return of the Jedi where they were going to have a
light man or whatever.
Light man, or
yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, ran it around the perimeter of that. Since then, I've modified my design a little bit, because in one of the final images that I showed with the poster hanging on the wall, you get a lot of bleed.
Yep.
Around the edges. I'd kind of like that. To be honest, it kind of helps set it off from the wall. but you see all the imperfections in the wall while it's being hung in the basement. So what I did is I took the original cardboard backing that was on the poster frame, and I lined the back, or one side of it, with aluminum foil, and then I stapled it to the wooden frame that I had built, and it helps to bounce that light around inside of there a little bit more and light the frame up even more. So it's even brighter than it is in that picture. But
that's pretty phenomenal. So yeah, I got mine too, and I'm very impressed with it. And hat tip to you. You were the one that told everybody to think about that. So
yeah, it was kind of fun. So for that frame to build, it was about $7 for the LED strip. I had a 12-volt DC power supply just laying around that I was able to plug into it. I didn't have to buy a separate one. It's like $5 in wood and a $10 stapler, and I was able to build that frame. And so
you're Mr. DIY these days.
I know.
DIY face, not face. DIY face.
DIY face. Let's see what else. Not a whole lot of anything else regarding customs this week, so we'll move on to TV, movie, book, and game news. There was a new cover revealed for, I think it's Star Wars #8, which is coming out in August. It reveals that it's the Tusken Raider as the action figure variant cover from John Tyler Christopher.
That's right. That's right. Looking good. That's already pre-ordered for me, so that's even nicer. So yeah, man, they're keeping going with these things. Did you manage to get your black and white version of Boba Fett?
I didn't order it. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't, because it went really fast.
It went. We should have reported on that as well. That was something that just sold out.
Yep. So, I think it sold. I think he had like 3,000 or 3,500 copies or something like that, and it sold out in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, by 6 p.m., the pre-sale for those that purchased first, I was purchasing number 475, and it wasn't supposed to launch until 6 p.m. that evening. So, yeah, he was a little annoyed on Twitter that the whole thing was a bit of a train wreck in his mind. But I was like, look, it's Boba Fett limited times the internet equals just chaos. So,
yep,
the way it goes.
Yep. What else? You had this one here. The Wolfpack had posted that there's going to be Force Awakens personalized screenings that you could purchase or sign up for. It costs a bit, but you can rent out a theater to share with your friends and experience the Force Awakens as a group.
That's a fairly unusual thing I've heard of overall, but anyway, Cinemark Theatre seem to be doing it in December. Private screenings, so I'll rent the entire thing just for me. That'd be phenomenal.
Don't bother me.
So, exactly. I want peace.
So you can cry and
crying peace, and no one would know.
Stand up and cheer and clap.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to do. I know you've been approached offline about this, but we're trying to maybe set up a gathering for the premiere of The Force Awakens in Chicago. We're kind of talking about doing that, so we'll see if it pans out. I'm optimistic about that happening, so it'll be kind of fun.
Me too.
Let's see, reviews this week. You had posted a few things.
Yeah, I met still San Diego Comic-Con stuff for me. There's still tons of footage to wade through, and I managed to just do a quick review of the Topps trading cards, the large oversized cards, which are available at San Diego Comic-Con, and some are still available just on the Topps Star Wars website. And that was me just showing off some of the cards that are in the pack. We're giving a set away. So literally the draw, I think, is Wednesday of this week. So if you want to win a set of these cards, which is now completely sold out and already in Fleabay for silly money, you can go and win a set. So check out the video and you can find out why.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was good fun. And the other little thing was an audio interview with Topps themselves. Mark, he's been very kind of vocal on Twitter. Very generous guy with his time, and he was so passionate about the products. We were so into the products, we just could not shut up. So we kept going on and talking about the Force Trading app and all the cards that are coming, and these amazing cards, which I know I banged on about before, the Journey to the Force Awakens, where it's lots of vintage and lots of other figures all coming back in. But it gave us a little few spoilers, talked about Galactic Connections, the new card line or plastic kind of chip line, like casino chips almost, and some other little stuff in there. So that was good fun. And what else did we have? One other thing, just I'll quickly see if I can get this to play and load. That wasn't the booth there, but the Hot Wheels booth. I think I managed to get a video up of that somewhere. Anyway, we'll put it in the show notes when it's around. But we got to see the Hot Wheels, the newer versions of the cars in the flesh, if you haven't seen them. So they look pretty good. There's a lot of new Hot Wheels coming, of course, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Batman and Superman, all sorts of stuff. So and a Hulkbuster car, yay! So yeah, plenty of stuff coming.
Yeah, I've seen some of the newer cars that have started to show up at retailers, like character cars like Kanan from Star Wars Rebels, and even the Wicket car has come out, I guess. So, and I'm trying to think who else is coming. There's a Princess Leia car that's coming out. That's got like the buns on the side and everything.
There's a lot of
hair buns, not
hair buns. Yeah. There's a lot of products still sitting on shelves, I think, literally with at retailers. I don't know how quickly these things are going to get there, or I still have barely seen Boba Fett on shelves here. But you,
I haven't seen it. Not at major retailers. I've seen it at like weird little stores that don't necessarily specifically sell toys, but they just happen to get some, where they're just looking to fill peg space or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I ran into the Boba Fett and Chopper case assortment at some little store in Wisconsin, that sells little tchotchke type things. So it's kind of weird not seeing some of these other ones.
I know. Just a little side note. It's something they keep doing at shows. They have these beautiful little displays for the Hot Wheels, little white plastic trays with these little card stands. I wish they made them. And I kept saying to the guys, why don't you make these available? People want to display the Hot Toys. There's the little Wicket car in very blurry vision. But yeah, they were beautiful little displays. Again, there's another one, the Tusken and Inquisitor and Marvel stuff. But yeah, I just wish they'd make that. It seems the cases as well, the protective cases, all these little display pieces, they just don't seem to realize there's a Hulkbuster card. They need to display this stuff. So all these beautiful card backs there, but you can't buy them.
Yeah, I do like those because, the art is present on the card backs, but it's cropped in such a way that you don't see that there's actually an entire figure or a character that's been designed and rendered.
Yep.
So it's really cool to see them on display like that with those little backer stands behind them.
Yep. And there's just if we hang on, there we go. There's the new Star Wars there, the Obi-Wan, the Maul, Clone Trooper Grievous, and Luke X-Wing and Darth. And there's a few more, some really nice cars as well. There we go. There's the Leia, the 3PO R2 little summer vehicle there, and there's the Leia. So very generic card backs this time, not my favorites, I have to say.
Yeah.
Sorry about this video being shaky vision, but when you get crowds of people behind you shoving to get in the way, it's kind of nuts. But yeah, that was a little look at some of the Hot Wheels. So there's tons of other videos, all this sorts of stuff I'll still be uploading as time goes on.
And that was from San Diego Comic-Con, you said?
That was indeed the Hot Wheels booth.
Very cool. Moving on to new toy acquisitions and purchases for this week. You had a nice little stockpile
I did
gathered.
A few little things. The new Marvel Legends fan anyway. The new it's actually called Black Ant. It's not really Ant-Man, but it's a Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends figure, which was kind of nice, quite cool. Eric O'Grady is the character's name. Not had a chance to review this as yet, but the Sideshow Arc Trooper
nice.
is Fives he's fantastic.
I love that.
Great job of Sideshow. The weathering is just off the charts for these guys. Great little we'll do a proper review, but great little magnetic backpack as they've kind of done before, and they've just upped their game continually. The suit underneath is different. The weapons are just cool. It's a beauty. It's definitely one you want to pick up. So we'll do a full review, and we'll mention that in one of the next upcoming shows.
Excellent.
I'm sadly getting addicted to Funko Pop. It's
kind of become the new thing to get in on. They release so many
franchises
products, and it's hard not to be attracted to those things.
Exactly. So this isn't actually for me. It's for a friend of mine. I'm not into the bobblehead version, so no Marvel and Star Wars ones necessarily for me. But this was one of the Venom Walgreens ones. And this was, for me, this was a Judge Dredd pop, which I didn't realize they actually made in Funko Pop. But I was a huge Judge Dredd fan growing up, and loved the comics. So couldn't resist this little guy. Very cheap. So it's the low price point collectibles. So they're very easy to get hold of. So once you start, though, that's it. What about you?
My week was very, very slim. I didn't pick up a whole lot, but I did receive the Build-A-Droid R2D60, which was from...
Awesome.
That's as part of the not Build-A-Droid, but Droid Factory line from Disney for their 60th anniversary. A cool dedicated figure. I don't pick up all of the Build-A-Droid parts that you could buy at the park, because they're just, obviously there's so many, it costs a fortune. But when they do offer the dedicated figures like this, and like the holographic one that they had, which we talked about last week,
oh yeah,
I do like to pick those up just to have for the collection. Complete astromechs are always great in my opinion. So
yep. Very cool. Really
There's
good.
another one coming out next month for D23 itself. It's I can't remember it's a R5 D23 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the designation is, but it's like a silver version of R5D4, I think.
Okay, that's
not
interesting.
R5D4. It's, I don't know.
It's hard keeping up with the news from Disney.
I know, there's so many.
It's a little underground, the Disney Store exclusives. They don't quite make it as public as they could.
So that was the only thing I purchased Star Wars related this week. It's been pretty... I take that back. I did receive a case, the last case assortment of the Black Series 3/3/4 inch line. That includes,
Jawa and
Jawas and
review as well. Yeah.
Han and Mosep Benid and Leia, Han and Carbonite, all that good stuff. So I'll eventually have to open those and get those into the toy guide somehow, sometime, somewhere. So
I agree.
I think with that wraps up this week's show.
The 70-year-olds are done.
70s. We can move on. 71. Like to thank everyone for watching and sharing and commenting on our shows each week. We will be back next week. There's, just like this week, there's probably going to be even more leaks and reveals and stuff as we get closer to the Force Friday event in September. It's probably going to all be leaked out prior to walking in the door that day, which is fine by me, as long as major plot points and all that kind of stuff isn't spoiled. I'd be fine with that. But hopefully we get to share some more stuff next week like we did this week. So until next week, we will talk to you all then.
See you later.